Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel if you're new. My name is Cristin. I'm a lifestyle vlogger, and I thought we could just have a little hangout, chat, catch up, talk to you guys about where I've been and what's going on with my channel because I've not been posting lately, and I'm sorry for that. I've had a massive ear infection. If you guys follow me over on Instagram, or if you guys seen my community tab here on YouTube, then you've seen my post, you've seen me talk about it over there. And I think I even did a vlog recently, or I posted something where I mentioned it. So I haven't been filming. Honestly, even right now, I don't know if I'm yelling at you guys or not. I can take the cotton out of my ear. I put that there for the thumbnail. A little dramatic, kind of. I don't need that anymore, thankfully. But if we rewind a little ways, I'll just tell you guys what's been going on and when I did need the cotton balls. And I'm so glad I don't need the cotton balls anymore. That was so gross. So I feel like my family has just been fighting off sickness after sickness here recently. Like, we can't catch a break. Someone's constantly sick. Go back over a month now. Okay, we're like at the end of September, and I have spent like almost all of September sick with something. Excuse me. I want to say even back to like the last week or so of August. Started with my son getting really nasty head cold, and then a week later I got it, my husband got it, and our youngest son got the head cold, and it was just awful. I almost want to call it a sinus infection, but we never went to the doctor for it, so like we were never like diagnosed with sinus infections, but like I wouldn't be surprised if that's what it was. And it was just so much pressure, just like right here. It was awful. Like originally it was like in all three places, and then my neighbor was like, well, maybe you should take a Zyrtec, maybe that's what's going on, because I could not go to the sinus cold. And so I took a Zyrtec, at least I think that's what it was. She gave me an allergy pill. And I could literally feel it all just drain out of my sinuses down here and up into my forehead sinus area. Oh my gosh, so much pressure, so uncomfortable. Was like that for days. And then I had like 2 days that were normal. And then day 3, and I thought, oh good, I'm finally getting over this, right? Like I'm feeling better, finally getting over this. Well, then I felt it going into my ears. Like I started feeling pressure in my ears. I was like, that's weird, but maybe it's just like all draining on my head and like shifting around, and you know, I'm almost over it. I'll be good. That was like 3 to 4 weeks ago now, and probably like 3 weeks ago. Let's see. I worked this past weekend. Weekend before, I worked one day. I actually left early because I was so uncomfortable. The weekend prior to that, I called off. So it's been 3 weeks. 4 weeks ago for the head cold, because I called off for the head cold because it was so bad I could not go to work. I was just like a snotty mess. I was like, nobody wants me here. I was disgusting. Everything was draining. So 3 weeks ago, started going into my ears. First day of it, I was like, oh, you know, whatever. It's just moving around. It's not painful, whatever. The next day, oh my God. It got so bad. Like excruciating pain. I have not felt that much pain probably since childbirth, and I feel like I'm being dramatic, but I also know I'm not. Like, that was awful. It was like trying to have a baby come out of my ears. There was so much pressure. I thought for sure my eardrum was going to rupture. I cried a lot. This sounds weird to say, but I would have almost rather have like had pain in a different part of my body than to have it in my head, because when it's in your head, it's like it's really in your head. Okay, like you can't distance yourself or get away from it. And I know like when it's in another part of your body, like yeah, it's still a part of you, but like it's not in your head. I hope that makes sense, because from like the psychological standpoint, it's like I could not get away from it, and my ears were so plugged up I could not hear. All I could hear was like my heart beating and blood pumping through my head, and then I just had pain in my head, and everything was just, I was in my head. I don't know how else to describe that. It was awful. And thankfully, the doctor's office that I used was able to get me in with a doctor I'd never been to. I didn't care at that point. I was like, I will take whoever you have. Because they're like, well, if the doctor you use isn't available. I'm like, I don't care who you have. It could be a bum off the street. If he's got meds. Okay, we're taking it a little far, but not really. I was in so much pain. I probably would have taken meds from somebody off the street. Like anything to make it go away. I got in to see the doctor that day. And when he starts looking at my ears, he's making these noises of like, ooh, ooh, and when the doctor's making those sounds, you know it's bad. And I'm just kind of sitting there like, and he kept saying, am I hurting you? Does this hurt? I'm sorry if this hurts. I'm like, oh no, it doesn't hurt what you're doing. Doesn't hurt. Like, I'm in pain. Like, it hurts in my ears, but what you're doing with the exam doesn't hurt. He's like, okay, good. He's like, if it hurts, let me know. When he gets done with my exam on both sides, he goes, you have a massive ear infection in both ears. He's like, there's a lot of pus. Yeah, in my ears. And he's like, they're so swollen shut, I cannot see into your middle ear to know if you've ruptured your eardrum or not. You will have to come back in 3 weeks for another exam to make sure that if you have ruptured it, it heals up. Because if it doesn't, then like the infection can get into your middle ear and can cause hearing loss. Yay. So that was 2 weeks ago. I've got my appointment coming up next week. And I'm not any better. Well, I am better. Okay, I am better. But I'm not over it. So he gave me a prescription of antibiotics. He said they're stronger than amoxicillin. And he's like, you'll notice a difference within 48 to 72 hours. And, you know, the 42-hour mark rolled around. Was it 48? What makes 2 days? 24 plus 24 is 48. 48-hour mark rolled around. And I wasn't any better. I wasn't noticing a difference. 72-hour mark rolled around. Still not noticing a difference. Kept taking the meds. And when I mean not noticing a difference, I don't mean the pain. He did unfortunately tell me that there's nothing he could give me for the pain and just to keep taking Tylenol. Well, the Tylenol wasn't touching it. So I was taking up to 600 milligrams of ibuprofen and I was eating it like freaking candy. I was constantly popping ibuprofens. They finally worked. They finally took care of the pain. And then I started being able to intermit between doing ibuprofen and Tylenol. So then I spaced out my ibuprofen taking to like every 4 hours, and every like 2 hours I was taking Tylenol. And now at this point, I'm thankfully not really in any pain from my ear infection anymore. I get random like stabbing pain, which is super weird, but I'm not in actual pain, which makes me think that the virus is gone, the infection is gone, but something's going on with my ears because I still have a lot of pressure and I still can't hear very well. Like, even this feels muffled. Every time I think that my hearing is getting better and I'm hearing better, like my husband will make a comment about like how I'm watching the TV super loud, or like we got into the car the other day and he turns it down and he goes, that's so loud your parents can hear it. And my parents are like in a whole other town. And I'm like, oh, it sounded normal to me. And he's like, it was really loud. So I'm worried that I have hearing loss. However, I've got all this pressure, and then also like if I yawn, my ears pop, and then like things sound crystal clear, if not too loud. But then it stuffs back up. So I don't really know if it's hearing loss. I feel like there's something else going on at this point. But back into it. I was taking like gobs of ibuprofen and Tylenol just to get the pain under control. It was awful. And after the, like 72-hour mark, still wasn't noticing much difference with the cloggage in my ears. And somewhere in all of this, my ears started draining. And all that pus, the doctor mentioned, yeah, a lot of it. I was soaking cotton balls with yellow goo. Okay, it was disgusting. I started off with just being a little bit here and there. So I was using like tissues, or it's like when you have a runny nose and you constantly blotting your nose. No, I was constantly blotting my ears. And it started off to being a little bit, and then it started being like if I laid down and like rolled where my ear was open, like from like laying back, and then I rolled my ears like on my side, it would just like goo out and all in my hair and on my bed, and like, so I finally got smart and started using cotton balls, plugging my ears with cotton balls. But like after a couple of hours, I had to wake up even in the middle of the night and go change my cotton balls because I was soaking cotton balls. I had so much goo coming out of them. It was gross. And that went on for a couple of days. Thankfully that has stopped. I took my full round of antibiotics, came to being like, I think I was on them for like 10 days. And it was like day 8. I call my doctors and I'm like, look, I'm not noticing a whole lot of difference here. Pain is under control, which is good. Drainage has stopped, which is good. Right ear at the time was like maybe 50% operation, like normal. Left ear still could hardly hear out of it. And they're like, well, you need to finish out your antibiotics. I had like 2 more days on it. And if that doesn't work, then you're probably gonna need to go see a specialist, like an ears, nose, and throat specialist. And I'm like, that's gonna be expensive. Y'all know the US medical system is expensive, okay? So I finish out that round of antibiotics and I call the doctor and I'm like, look, I haven't had any more improvement. And in fact, I went like 4 days past using up the antibiotics because I had everybody in my life tell me, you know, like antibiotics in your system for a little while. So like give it a couple more days after you stop taking it to see if you start having improvement, because my right ear was like almost normal. Well, on day like 4, I woke up and my right ear was getting more plugged. And so I called the doctor and I'm like, look, you know, my right ear was almost normal and my left ear at that point was probably like around 50%. And I was like, and I didn't mention that my right ear was starting to plug back up. I just told him like, right ear is not normal. Left ear is about 50% at this point. Can I do another round of antibiotics before you send me to a specialist? Because it's going to be expensive. So they called me another round of antibiotics, the same ones, super stronger than penicillin, or yeah, amoxicillin. Anyways, I can't remember. Whatever I said earlier, stronger than that. And so I've been on that, and it's been, I don't know, I'd have to count how many pills I have left. It was another round for 10 days, and I'm not sure where I'm sitting at. My right ear, still kind of plugged. Left ear, still pretty plugged. Work is kind of miserable. I work at a grocery store, and there's just so many sounds. Like, I think I'm good at home, right? But like my house is fairly quiet, and I go to work out in public, and it's just so much noise. Like it just feels like more pressure builds in my ear, and all I'm hearing is like boom, boom, boom from like the blood flow. And it's like, it's so overstimulating with the amount of just what's going on in my head. It's so weird. It's for not hardly being able to hear, but also like I can hear, but also like my ears are plugged up. It's so weird. And then like I said, I just hear the blood flow in my ears. It's just, I'm a mess. So I'm going to finish out these antibiotics and then I'll call the doctor. Well, I've got an appointment next week, so I'll probably just wait till that and we'll see what he says, but I have a feeling I'm going to get sent to a specialist. During all of this, I think I started to mess up my kidneys. I don't know for sure because I didn't talk to a doctor about it, but I was getting pain like in my lower back on the sides, not in the area where I have arthritis, but off to the sides. And I think it's because I took so much ibuprofen. I think I was starting to give myself kidney problems. So I have since stopped taking all the ibuprofen because I did that for several days. I was, like I said, I was popping on my candy because I was in so much pain with my ears. I was like, just anything to make it go away. And yeah, so now I'm just down to doing the Tylenol, and even that I'm just taking like a couple times a day if I feel like I need it. Like I said, I get like random stabbing pains in my ear, but it's nothing consistent. So it's been a fun time over here. I haven't been filming a lot because I just haven't been feeling great. This is like the first week I don't feel like I gotta take a nap every day. This ear infection, like I've just been really tired and sleeping quite a bit. Like I get up to do like the bare minimum and then I'm like back to bed, like taking like 2 naps a day. And what else? Oh, driving up until recently has been difficult. I feel like I'm driving drunk. I feel like there's so much just going past me, like I can't focus, and I think it's because there's so much pressure in my head. I've also got that whole like vertigo thing going on, so I can't tell you how many times a day I just get dizzy out of nowhere. Like I'll just like be walking, standing, doing something, and then like the world just spins and I have to close my eyes. I'm like, oh my god. Yeah, so fun times, and I'm not even drinking. And yeah, it's been fantastic. Yesterday we took the kids down to the park and I managed to sprain my ankle real good. So I've got that wrapped up with an ACE bandage currently. That feels fantastic. That's the ankle I messed up a couple of years ago, and you guys might remember it from a vlog. I'm not sure. It's been years. Like Levi was a little baby. I don't even think we had Ira yet. My husband and I just like started racing each other at the park. I was in flip-flops and I tripped. And I really think I like cracked something in my foot. I really think I may have like fractured something when I did that the first time. It was this foot on the same side. And it took weeks for it to stop hurting. And it's hurting in the exact same spot in the exact same way. And I'm like, dang it. I did it again. And last time, like, there was no swelling, no bruising, just a lot of pain. And it hurt for weeks and weeks. And it felt like it was in the bone. This, like when I rolled it yesterday, which I felt so bad when it happened because I was carrying Ira, my baby, he's 2. And I dropped him. Like I stepped in, I don't know what, like a hole or something. Not really a hole, like a divot in the grass. And I twisted my ankle and I went down and I just completely just dropped him in the rocks. I felt so bad. Thankfully it's like the little pea gravel, like the little tiny pebbles, you know, that they put on playgrounds. So it wasn't like anything hard. I mean, it's rocks, so it's hard, but you know, they're all soft and round. They're made for kids to like fall in anyways, because it's all over a playground. But I still felt really bad. I think I scared him more than anything. Thankfully, there's no marks or bruises or scratches on him. But I was, you know, we were all happy and laughy and joking around. And then I just throw him in the ground. Like, kind of how, I'm sure that's how it felt to him, right? Like, in reality, I'm falling and I just dropped him. Like, it wasn't like an intentional thing. It's just, I twisted my ankle, shot of pain, dropped him. Like, it was a whole thing. From his angle, I'm sure he thought, oh, we're having fun with mommy. Oh, mommy's throwing me in the rocks. You know, from his perspective. But he's fine. He's over it. He's, you know, went on to enjoy the rest of the park after he cried a lot. So, but yeah, my ankle is a mess and it really hurts. Thankfully, we still had an ace bandage sitting around, but originally it was my ankle and like the pain has now gone to being just like along the side of my foot like it was the first time I injured it. And I'm really thinking that I've aggravated something that was possibly broken before. I never went to the doctor for it because, like I said, there's no like swelling. I could still walk on it. It was just really sore and aching. It felt like it was in the bone. And I personally think that I probably like had a small like maybe hairline fracture or something. And there's not really a lot they're gonna do for that. So I never went to the doctor. But yeah, I think that whatever that was, I've just aggravated at the very least, if not re-injured. So we'll see how that goes. I've got it wrapped up with an ace bandage for some support, and that has really been helping. So I've been taking Tylenol for that since yesterday, and hopefully nothing major comes of it, and I'll be good in a couple of days. Hopefully it doesn't drag out for weeks like it did the first time I hurt myself. But I'm limping around the house. Going upstairs sucks. Lots of fun here. And of course, everything going on with my ears. My kids also have had stomach bugs, both a week apart, and they both barfed everywhere. That was fun. The last one you guys would have seen in my last vlog. I talked about it because Levi threw up all over his bed and I had to wash it. And then like a week later, Ira got it and he threw up everywhere. Thankfully, the husband and I have not gotten that yet so far. Fingers crossed. Seems to have just been the kids. Lord knows I don't need anything else going on right now. I need to get my ears better and I need my ankle to stop hurting, okay? I don't need to be barfing in the toilet right now. So that's what's going on with me over here. Hopefully I haven't been yelling at you guys in this whole video. I won't even know during editing because it's gonna probably sound just fine to me. So my apologies if I have been, or I might be talking too quietly. I really can't tell. But that's what's going on over here. Thanks for coming by to hang out and chat. Sorry I haven't been posting a whole lot lately. It's kind of weird to film when I can't hear myself well when I'm talking. It's kind of like, like I said, I don't know what volume I'm at. I don't know if I'm yelling at you. I mean, I'm just judging by the feel of my throat. I don't think I'm yelling at you, but I might be too quiet, but I also might be too loud. And it's like, I don't know. It just makes it not fun, you know? So I'm not going anywhere long term. I'll keep you guys posted. I'm sure I'll make like a post on my community page if I end up going to the specialist. Hopefully this round of antibiotics does something, but it's been over the 72-hour mark now. So I have a feeling that we're just gonna I feel like it's not going to do anything. Like I said, I'm not really having any pain anymore, and my ears aren't draining, so I kind of feel like the infection's gone. I have a feeling something else is going on, whether that means that the infection got into my middle ear and caused hearing loss, but that doesn't explain the pressure that I'm having, and it doesn't explain like how I can hear things normal when my ears pop. Like if I like yawn or something and they pop, then I can hear for a little bit, like a minute. So I had a coworker mention that she had an ear infection like a long time ago, And she said that after her infection, she couldn't hear very well. And like she had to go to an ENT specialist, and they like blew something in her ear to like make them pop. And she said it wasn't pleasant and didn't feel good, but it worked. And I have a feeling I'm going to have done whatever she's talking about, because I feel like I just got a lot of pressure in here. And if we could just like get my ears to pop open and stay open, then it would make all the difference. Like, so I don't know what's going to come of it. Again, I got an appointment next week, so fingers crossed we can get me fixed up without having to go to a specialist and it'd be expensive, but we'll see how it pans out. So thanks for coming by and hanging out. I promise I'm not going anywhere long term. I just, like I said, filming is weird right now. So I will get back to it as soon as I'm able. I don't know if I'm even going to bother editing this. I might just post it. So thank you for hanging out. And I hope to catch you guys in the next video.